Early snow swallowed the village while Max watched nervously. No enemy approached, only the cold moved through darkness. Inside, sleeping villagers ignored cold creeping beneath the floor. Wet boots, hunger, smoke, and frost threatened Max together. Before dawn, Max woke beside barely glowing hearth embers. The crowded longhouse offered shelter, animals, smoke, and shock. Every sleeping breath rose visibly white beneath smoke-dark rafters. Cold ashes confirmed the household's fire had nearly died. Villagers found their remaining firewood stack almost completely empty. Another storm gathered beyond the village before approaching sunset. Fresh, snow-buried fences, racks, and essential landmarks. The village looked peaceful, yet blocked doorways threatened survival. Blocked movement meant less wood, frozen water, weaker fire. Max discovered his only cloak remained dangerously damp overnight. Wet wool wrapped around him and immediately stole warmth. Before sunrise, Max followed villagers outside carrying wooden shovels. Nobody ate because the overloaded roof required immediate work. Wet snow and freezing rain pressed the turf downward. If they delayed, the roof could crush everyone inside. Villagers cleared rooftops while Max opened buried doorways below. One sliding slab nearly buried Max beneath roof snow. His reddened hands burned after lifting frozen heavy snow. Then numb fingers relaxed, revealing a more dangerous stage. Max kept shoveling because stopping endangered the entire household. Sunrise revealed a safer roof but dwindling firewood nearby. Every remaining log represented another small piece of time. Max received thin porridge and one dried fish afterward. The tiny meal exposed shelves already emptied by winter. Stored food offered preparation, never any guaranteed survival alone. Mold, rats, moisture, and failed harvests destroyed reserves quickly. Villagers rationed carefully while noticing Max's additional hunger nearby. Max scraped his bowl slowly, remaining hungry after eating. A farmer pointed Max toward the distant winter forest. The shrinking woodpile made another journey suddenly unavoidable today. Experienced villagers avoided looking toward the approaching storm-dark forest. Max remembered earning shelter only by proving himself useful. Now that usefulness demanded risking his life for fuel. Max joined two villagers pulling an empty wooden sled. After 50 steps, the village nearly vanished behind them. Fresh snow erased every footprint almost immediately behind them. Familiar paths, rocks, and fences disappeared inside featureless white. Max gripped the sled rope, staying physically connected together. Dark tree trunks finally emerged through the violent snowfall. Frozen dead branches resisted every pull beneath heavy ice. Green wood was useless because it smoked instead burning. They dug beneath drifts searching for protected fallen timber. Max's sleeves became soaked while digging through deep snow. Hard labor made Max sweat beneath multiple wool layers. The sweat cooled quickly against his already freezing skin. Exhaustion and sweating both made the icy wind deadlier. A sharp crack suddenly silenced every traveler inside forest. Ahead, hidden fractures crossed a snow-covered frozen inlet nearby. The shortcut home tempted them as darkness approached quickly. Yesterday's safe ice now hid darker current-thin patches below. One villager tested the ice carefully with wooden pole. They stepped forward while hollow ripples echoed beneath them. Max noticed trapped bubbles under cloudy ice beneath boot. Then one black crack raced between his tan boots. Max dropped flat exactly when both villagers did likewise. Their spread bodies reduced pressure across the fragile surface. They crawled backward, dragging the sled rope very slowly. Max reached solid ground while the cracked shortcut remained. The safer forest route looked longer as daylight faded. Max trudged through deeper snow around the frozen inlet. Their sled held only half the wood they needed. One villager removed heavy logs to preserve their strength. Wind erased their earlier tracks during the journey home. The leader navigated using bent trees and barefoot stone. Distant wolf silhouettes watched while howls crossed the forest. Hunger made unseen wolves feel dangerously close to everyone. The group walked steadily, conserving energy and maintaining formation. They kept the loaded sled between themselves and danger. Max gripped a pole, his hands trembling from cold. The howls faded when distant village smoke finally appeared. They entered the village as another storm overtook them. Snow struck longhouse walls like waves against wooden ship. Villagers packed cloth into doorway cracks, leaking driven snow. Inside, people huddled beside restless sheep and goats together. Max placed wet logs beside embers, producing only smoke. Thick smoke descended lower beneath the dark rafters overhead. Villagers moved closer to warmth while Max struggled breathing. Max realized their shelter contained an invisible smoke threat. The small roof vent trapped smoke inside the longhouse. Opening it wider released heat and invited freezing snow. Villagers adjusted the vent gradually, balancing warmth and air. A nearby child began coughing as smoke thickened again. Max moved the coughing child toward cleaner doorway air. Opening the door blasted every face with freezing wind. The family chose between smoky warmth and clean cold. They reduced flames, accepting a darker, colder shelter inside. Everyone added wool and fur instead of additional firewood. Max noticed an elder had suddenly stopped shivering entirely. They recognized dangerous cold stress and gathered dry blankets. The elder rested between warm bodies away from flame. He warmed slowly while Max guarded the weakened hearth. Outside, violent wind tore turf from the longhouse roof. Snow poured through a widening gap above dark rafters. Escaping heat exposed another urgent danger to everyone inside. Max and two villagers climbed into the night storm. Tied together, they crawled low across the icy roof. Fierce wind shook the turf beneath Max's entire body. Max pressed a wide board across the exposed opening. One held it while another replaced heavy turf blocks. The rope jerked, sliding Max toward the roof edge. Max caught one roof beam as his shovel disappeared. Below him waited darkness, ice, and frozen hard ground. Both villagers pulled while Max's failing grip weakened further. They dragged him back, then finished repairing everything silently. Max returned inside, but nobody celebrated temporary survival there. Weak fire, empty bowls, exhaustion, and darkness filled everything. Villagers rotated night watches while Max observed passing hours. Winter killed through accumulation, not spectacular single disasters alone. Damp clothes, hunger, smoke, fatigue, and damage surrounded Max. One wet sleeve, empty bowl, and cracked beam connected. Earlier problems weakened Max before every later survival tap. Pale dawn finally entered as wind and snow weakened. Max survived because everyone shared heat, labor, food, risk. Alone, Max would have vanished before reaching another sunrise. Outside, deep snow proved spring remained painfully far. Next, faces a longship trapped beside sea ice.
You wake on Viking shores, already dangerously close to death. Not from battle, but wind sharp enough to carve bone. No friends, no map, no clue whose shore this is. Over 24 hours, every small mistake could easily kill you. Viking survival is not truly about fighting heroic battles. It depends on convincing suspicious strangers that you belong. The beach is frozen, your clothes wrong, and everyone notices. A barefoot boy spots you, then bolts toward the village. Minutes later, armed villagers emerge through sleet and sea mist. One sudden move could make them mistake you for raiders. You raise empty hands, proving only that you seem weak. Here, weakness can become just as dangerous as aggression. Their axes remain lowered, but their eyes never soften. They circle, inspecting your boots, hair, and strange woven clothes. You offer an awkward smile, which improves absolutely nothing. You speak, but your language sounds completely alien to them. Nobody understands, and the growing silence becomes another threat. A strong stranger seizes your satchel, searching carefully for weapons. If considered harmless, you may simply become their servant. If considered useful, you might earn warmth beside their fire. If considered cursed, you may never witness tonight's sunset. That becomes your first essential rule of Viking survival. Before food, shelter, or warmth, every stranger faces suspicion. And you appear suspicious from the moment you breathe. They march you inland between driftwood fences and muddy tracks. Smoke rises from turf roofs as though the village breathes. From afar it seems peaceful, but survival here costs everything. Every log, fish, and wool cloak demands exhausting labor. A stranger is never treated as a guest automatically. A stranger means another hungry mouth during the cold season. With the chief absent, this household decides your immediate fate. The women assess practical danger much faster than the men. Children hide behind door frames, staring as though you are ghostly. A dog snarls at your ankles and nobody restrains it. Then the cold finally crashes through your entire body. Your fingers begin burning, warning that numbness will follow. In modern life, cold usually feels merely uncomfortable and temporary. Here, the cold becomes a silent countdown toward collapse. Wet wool, sea wind, and poor shelter can kill tonight. Without warmth, soon your story will end silently outside. An older woman points toward the doorway, then your boots. You hesitate, nearly making another potentially fatal cultural mistake. Inside Viking homes, thresholds and seating carry invisible social rules. Step wrongly, sit wrongly, or touch the forbidden object. Suddenly, ignorance appears not harmless, but deliberately insulting here. So you copy everyone exactly, one anxious second after another. You remove your boots carefully and keep your eyes lowered. For the first time, nobody reaches toward an axe. The longhouse feels warmer, but warmth does not mean safety. Smoke fills the rafters and immediately burns your eyes. People, tools, food, and animals share one cramped room. It smells of wool, broth, wet timber, animals, and bodies. To survive here, your modern standards must disappear first. Pride weighs more than hunger and proves far less useful. A wooden bowl appears in your hands without explanation. The stew is hot, salty, fatty, and better than freezing. You want to gulp everything, but everyone else eats slowly. You slow down because overeagerness can make you seem animalistic. Then weak ale arrives, beginning another hidden survival test. Refusing might offend them, but drinking heavily becomes worse. Water is not always the safest option you imagine. Stored water can foul while streams quietly carry disease. Ale, whey, and broth may prove cleaner than river water. Survival means relearning what genuine safety actually looks like. You casually reach toward a knife beside the bowl. 3 faces rise instantly and the entire room freezes. Here, touching another person's weapon is never considered casual. You withdraw your hand, smiling again, which still helps nothing. The room exhales, but your margin for error narrows. In Viking Age society, correct etiquette functions like armor. By midday, the household finally puts you to work. Nobody keeps a healthy stranger fed and warm freely. First, you haul wood until your shoulders start screaming. Then you carry water across rutted ground slick with slush. Then you untangle fishing nets stiffened by cold salt. By the third task, your soft hands already split. This is another harsh truth romantic stories rarely mention. Most modern visitors would not die from violence first. They would die through exhaustion, infection, or freezing exposure. And your first day introduces every one of them. A blacksmith passes nearby, sparks flashing like furious fireflies. For one brief second, the workshop appears almost cinematic. Then burnt leather and a boy's scarred hand appear. Viking survival never remains beautiful when viewed closely enough. It means splinters, smoke, cracked skin, and constant danger. Even tiny cuts matter when winter dirt enters them. There are no antibiotics, painkillers, or easy second chances. Your body begins a quiet negotiation with this environment. How much cold, strain, and fear can it absorb? Before your exhausted body simply refuses to continue working. Late afternoon brings another social danger you never anticipated. A carved pendant of Thor hangs beside the hearth. You stare too long, curious, and someone quickly notices. Belief here is not recreation, it structures ordinary life. Gods explain storms, luck, birth, death, and personal honor. Mock their symbols, and you directly mock their people. You nod respectfully, although you understand almost nothing being said. For once, caution protects you before knowledge possibly can. Then another deeply uncomfortable truth quietly reveals itself nearby. Not everyone living within this Viking village is free. A weary laborer avoids you wearing iron around his ankle. A thrall enslaved and treated as property within this world. If your first day fails badly, that fate becomes yours. Evening falls, and everyone gathers tightly around the hearth. You expect rest, but nighttime brings another harsh judgment. Stories begin, cups pass, and every glance weighs you. Someone points toward you, demanding a story you cannot tell. You answer only with your name, and the room laughs. Not kindly, but not cruelly, somehow that counts as progress. And a sudden gust throws sparks into the roof beams. Dry thatch catches while smoke curls above fading laughter. You leap up first, shouting words nobody can understand. But panic is universal, and suddenly the house erupts. Buckets fly, boots, children cry, and dogs bark. You grab a hide, beat flames, and choke on smoke. For one terrifying minute, everyone's survival becomes completely shared. The fire dies, and everyone studies you with fresh respect. Not family yet, but someone now worth keeping alive. The axe was never first. Uselessness was your deadliest threat. Want day 2? Max faces winter that kills without warning.
Wake to thunder, but there are no clouds, only iron-rimmed wheels racing inches from your face. Roll aside, taste dust and animal dung, and stare at a city that should have vanished 2,000 years ago. To Rome around 120 AD, capital of an empire, home to perhaps 1 million extremely crowded people. Phone, no money, no Latin, and unless you learn fast, you may not see tomorrow. Mission sounds simple. Find food, water, shelter, and survive one ordinary Roman day. Well, is ordinary Rome hides danger in its streets, buildings, kitchens, toilets, and even its laws. Question: why is traffic already trying to kill you before sunrise? To Julius Caesar restricted heavy wagons during daylight, so freight often thundered through Rome at night. Its darkness is not quiet. It is Rome's unofficial rush hour, with no brakes, headlights, or mercy. Survive minute 1. Then a window opens above you, and someone shouts a warning you cannot understand. Back, a foul waterfall splashes where you stood. Rome has sewers, but not every home connects to them. Many residents live several floors up, and carrying waste downstairs is apparently less attractive than gravity. You watch the windows, dodge carts, puddles, dogs, porters, and elbows in streets narrower than expected. City from movies exists, but beside patched walls, smoky workshops, graffiti, flies, and relentless noise. Rome smells of bread, incense, sweat, fish sauce, smoke, sewage, wet wool, and thousands of animals. Need water. Luckily, this is one problem Rome solves with astonishing engineering. 11 aqueducts eventually feed the city, carrying water over long distances using an incredibly gentle downward slope. Engines push it. Gravity does the work day after day, across valleys, tunnels, and stone arches. Water does not reach everyone equally. The wealthy may have private pipes. You get the public fountain. Drink eagerly. It may be safer than random wells, but the distribution pipes can include lead. Romans poisoned themselves with lead. The answer is complicated and much less dramatic than the myth. Deposits could coat pipes, while water chemistry, exposure, and social class change the actual risk. Do you wisely stop after 1 cup? Hunger is now louder than the entire street. A bakery offers round loaves marked into wedges, perfect for breaking and far beyond your zero-coin budget. Point at your satchel, offer to work, and receive a suspicious stare plus 1 small piece of bread. Coarse, chewy, and probably contains bits of stone worn from the grinding mill. The teeth sometimes show heavy wear, not just from age, but from gritty food processed with stone tools. Nearby, a vendor pours garum, the famous fermented fish sauce Romans add to nearly everything. It's revolting to modern ears, yet high-quality garum may have been rich, salty, and deeply savory. Bread tastes better, your confidence rises. That is exactly when Rome introduces its next trap, the apartment. Most ordinary Romans cannot afford a grand courtyard house. They rent rooms in multi-story buildings called insulae. Ground floors contain shops. Above them, families squeeze into smaller, cheaper, and usually less convenient rooms. The you climb, the farther you are from water, exits, and any hope during a fire. Those chase rent. Cheap materials, thin walls, bad maintenance, and unauthorized height can turn homes into hazards. Roman writers complain about buildings collapsing. Their exaggeration is possible. The danger is not imaginary. A tenant offers you floor space upstairs. Then you notice a crack wide enough to swallow your finger. You sleep here. Before deciding, you smell smoke from a charcoal brazier in the next room. Bushings need flame for cooking, heat, and light. Inside buildings made with plenty of wood. No smoke alarms, sprinklers, fireproof doors, or modern emergency numbers to call. Rome has firefighters, including the vigils, but in a dense city, a small flame can outrun help. Reclaims some private fire crews once negotiated property prices while buildings burned. Imagine that business meeting. Tale is associated with Crassus, Rome's famously wealthy politician, though ancient anecdotes demand caution. True or embellished, it reveals a Roman fear. Disaster could become somebody else's opportunity. Fuse the room and return outside. The owner curses. A tile crashes exactly where you were standing. Excellent decision. But now the sun is high, the streets are packed, and you still need a safe place. Follow the crowd toward the forum, expecting senators in spotless white togas discussing civilization. Instead, you find lawsuits, merchants, beggars, announcements, gossip, political favors, and people searching for work. It is not casual clothing. It is expensive, cumbersome, and a visible badge of Roman citizenship. A strange little tunic and speak nonsense to everyone here. You are not a tourist. You are suspicious. A guard approaches. Here comes the most dangerous question of your day. Who exactly owns you? Society is built on status. Citizen, foreigner, freed person, enslaved person, elite, poor, male, female, adult, child. Weights and punishments change depending on which box contains you. You cannot prove you belong in any box. Free is everywhere. Homes, farms, mines, workshops, government offices, and highly skilled professions. Enslaved people are not one uniform group, but legally they are property, vulnerable to sale and violence. Lack of papers, patron, family, and fluent explanation makes this misunderstanding terrifyingly plausible. But you remember the baker. You point toward his shop and repeat the one name you heard customers shout. Blood drags you back. The baker could deny everything and perhaps gain a free worker. Instead, the baker sighs and claims you as a clueless cousin from a distant province. You are temporarily safe. Why help you? Because labor is useful, witnesses matter, and Roman survival often depends on personal connections. In Rome, the right relationship can protect you more effectively than an abstract right you cannot prove. New cousin puts you back to work. Soon, nature calls, and he points toward a public latrine. Inside, stone seats line the walls, side by side with almost no privacy between users. Romans can talk business while doing business. Your modern sense of personal space has no legal authority here. Beneath the seats, flowing water may carry waste away. In front, another channel provides rinsing water. Question every history video eventually asks, what did Romans use instead of toilet paper? With a sponge, called a tursorium, is the famous answer, but the evidence remains debated. It may have cleaned people or cleaned the toilet itself. Either possibility makes you reconsider lunch. Facilities also mean shared microbes, parasites, flies, and splashing water in a world without germ theory. Basic sanitation is impressive infrastructure, yet infrastructure alone does not equal modern hygiene. Flee without touching anything. Congratulations. Discomfort has successfully defeated biology. For now. Afternoon arrives. A roar rolls across the city. The baker gestures toward the amphitheater. Free entertainment. If you imagine a movie, Rome offers something louder, bloodier, and politically more useful. Public games display wealth and power. An organizer feeds the crowd, stages spectacle, and earns popularity. Mediators are trained professionals, often enslaved or condemned, though some free people volunteer for contracts. Valuable investments. Contrary to movie logic, every match does not automatically end in death. Injury, infection, execution, and death are real. The crowd has come because danger is real too. Intervals from across the empire become proof that Rome can capture the world and put it on display. Obstacle is propaganda with claws. Exotic, expensive, unforgettable, and brutal. You notice food sellers, betting, arguments, assigned seating, and social rank mapped onto the architecture. Even leisure reminds every spectator where they belong. You belong nowhere, and the guard from the forum spots you. Down the stairs, past vendors, through an arch, and straight into Rome's evening crowd. What shouts? You cannot explain. A melon cart overturns, sandals slip, and history becomes an action scene. But you duck into a bathhouse, because apparently the best hiding place is where everyone removes their clothes. Roman baths are more than bathrooms. They are gyms, libraries, meeting places, snack bars, and social networks. And rooms move from cold to warm to hot. Furnaces heat floors through spaces called hypercausts. It was Rome's real superpower. Not one invention, but organizing labor, taxes, materials, and maintenance at scale. Aqueducts look miraculous, yet administrators, surveyors, builders, cleaners, and enslaved labor keep the miracle running. Civilization is not marble. It is thousands of people performing invisible jobs every single day. Wait among hanging towels. The guard passes, then an attendant demands an entrance fee you do not have. Once again, your glorious time travel adventure ends with you being thrown into a dirty street. With Falls, you have survived traffic, sewage, hunger, collapse, fire, law, toilets, and entertainment. But survival requires sleep, and the only available room is the cracked apartment you rejected earlier. It means robbers, carts, cold, and falling waste. Inside means smoke, flame, insects, and falling ceilings. You choose the bakery floor. The baker rolls his eyes, then allows it in exchange for tomorrow's labor. Bargain reveals the secret of your survival. It was never your intelligence, fitness, or historical knowledge. Survived because one person decided that helping you was more useful than exploiting or ignoring you. Ancient cities run on engineering and law, but individual lives often run on family, patrons, neighbors, and favors. Move your documents, money, language, medicine, electricity, and social network. How modern are you then? Dawn, a strange blue light appears inside the bread oven. Your way home has finally opened. Can you jump through or stay one more day? Comment your choice and subscribe before the oven closes.